I was literally going to talk about new construction walls showing up, and I found a construction wall that I wasn't expecting. This place never stops. Friends, Brickey here today on the Brickey Vlog channel. Gonna do a little bit of a theme park update. Now, I just wanna let the record be straight here. This is not a Hey Brickey video. There won't be maps, there won't be recreations. This is just a walk through the park and seeing what's changed, because there's something major that's happening to Cars Land. Not necessarily a good thing. I mean, it will be at some point, but in the short term, Cars Land is gonna kind of go back to where it was around the pandemic times. As progress always rears its head, so do a couple of compromises all along the way. But I was not expecting to find construction walls over here on Sonoma Terrace, but good news. One of the best bathrooms is still accessible, and you can still get to the Magic Key Lounge, which, by the way, if you're a Magic Key holder and you're not using that lounge, you really should. It's a fantastic way to kind of get away in a little bit more of a quiet atmosphere, sit up on the balcony there above Sonoma Terrace, get some good World of Color vibes, some good DCA vibes. So make sure you're taking advantage of that if you're a member. Want to correct myself, I called it a lounge. It's a terrace. So please enjoy the terrace. One of the cool things that Imagineering did with Cars Land is how they hid the backstage operations through the center of the land. So this building right here that looks like they have meetings in it and all types of activities are happening, I believe this is a commissary where cast members can eat lunch. So ideally, what they were able to do is hide backstage operations, but not compromise the front stage experience. But the front stage experience is getting ready to get compromised. If seeing the characters of Radiator Springs drive on the street don't get you excited, you are dead inside, man. So essentially, this whole back wall creates a division line for front stage, backstage, but it also creates a visual division line so you can't easily see into Avengers Campus. That's kind of what we're getting to today. Because without the commissary, you would easily be able to look over and see the Web Slingers building. Now, Imagineering was smart by making Avengers Campus themed after an industrial warehouse complex, which does mend well with a junkyard on its outskirts. But this building is doing a lot of work for the guests and the cast members. So all along this back wall behind the cones is a backstage operations part of the park. Perfectly hidden, perfectly blended in, doesn't compromise your day at all, but allows them to do their job correctly. But what happens when you need to get into that area and service some things or make some adjustments? Then it does affect the guest experience. And that's what starts today. Grand opening, grand closing. So essentially, from the back edge of the curio shop all the way over to Avengers Campus, this back thoroughfare is shutting down as of today. By the time you watch this, the road, pathway, thoroughfare should be cut off, meaning that now Cars Land is a dead end, and so is Avengers Campus. You can no longer move between the two lands effortlessly, which is really fascinating when they just opened up Red's Community Garden. This is a brand new project here at the resort, and I believe it's already going to get put behind construction walls. So I guess there is a chance that this line here, this side is construction and this side's still open. So maybe people will be able to go in there and they'll just be eating amongst the vibes of construction walls. But we're losing this path. And for die-hard DCA locals, you know how crucial the Luigi's path is. Well, excuse me, it looks like it's already up. And based on the descriptions I got, I was told that the wall was going to start over at Curios and take out this whole path. This isn't that bad. I mean, it still will make it difficult to go from land to land effortlessly, but this isn't that bad, because this back area here is so crucial to allow people to have a place to sit and eat in this back corner of Cars Land, because the cozy cones are super popular, but it ends up becoming trash can food. Not that it's not good food. I'm talking about food you have to eat on a trash can because you can't find a table. I don't know about you, but I don't like eating on top of the place where I'm going to throw my food away. I don't do it at home. I don't do it at fine dining restaurants. I don't want to do it at Disneyland. So if this stays open and we can still come over here and sing Pumpkin, Pumpkin Halloween, then it's not that bad of a deal that this wall is all we have to compromise on the state of progress. I absolutely love these plants. The fictional plants, the ones that are made out of car parts. Just such a great storytelling device. If it stays this way, we are in a good spot. We already made this compromise when we were having Avengers Campus be created. So we've lived with the dead end before. The only difference is we've never had the dead end separating the newest land in the resort, Avengers Campus, from the best land in the resort, Radiator Springs. So it will be interesting to see how this locks up traffic, and it will ruin just a little bit of the Oogie Boogie vibes when it's time to trick or treat, because I love this path for trick or treating. Check out this attention to detail. So there were two billboards that would, when you're coming into Radiator Springs, would announce you're going into Radiator Springs. But when you were going into Avengers Campus, it would announce things about Stark Motors. I believe that's what they were. But they removed the Avengers ones and just took both of the Radiator Springs ones and made a double-sided billboard, therefore not promoting something that you clearly can't walk through to anymore. I love that attention to detail. Somebody did their job. Now you have to have this maximum occupancy sign posted or fire marshal will shut you down. Another great little hidden logo. That's a patch. That's a patch. Put that on a hat. Firefighters are going to buy that and their families. No doubt. I'll buy it just to show respect. So if that's the compromise for the Radiator Springs side, that's not bad. But let's go see what the compromise is from Avengers Campus. I have been thinking about making a video for quite some time that explained a lot of the environmental things that Disney does, such as their food waste and water management. If you'd be interested to see a design video about that over on the main channel, Hey Brickey, let me know. I just keep debating, am I going too far down the wormhole? Because it's going to be a decent amount of research, but it's a story that I'm fascinated with and don't mind telling if you don't mind watching. So one of the things that's going to happen with this construction project are new restrooms are going to get put on the south end of Avengers Campus. And if you think about it, these restrooms are pretty isolated and pretty far away from other restrooms, or as my friends in Canada say, washrooms. So there is definitely a need for a restroom in this vicinity. And in case you don't know, this is one of two buildings that's left over from Bugs Land. This was the tissue box bathroom, and where you web sling, that was where you used to find out about what it was like to live a bug's life. Two buildings remain. One was a restroom. Not too bad. Lucky for us, I had the foresight to film all of this with no people here before it shut down. And that's kind of why I'm so excited about this channel, is I always have so many videos planned, but on Hey Brickey, I have to be very precise on what people want to watch and what the algorithm wants to push. But over here, it's a free roll. So we can do fun videos like today where we just talk about a couple of construction walls. So if you're having fun and you're enjoying this type of content, make sure you subscribe. I would sincerely appreciate you going on both journeys with me over at Hey Brickey and here at Brickey Vlogs. So how all this will come together and what will get built here, I am already fascinated. And I feel like out of all the things that have been announced, it seems like the excitement for Avengers Campus is pretty low. And I wonder, is that because the initial offering just didn't meet some people's expectations? Who knows? But whenever I post videos about Avengers Campus, they just don't seem to do very well. So I'd be curious to see when the two new attractions show up, how does that get people excited about this land? But also, how does this little corridor get changed? Because some of the best design in this area was on this corridor. There was a lot of Disney problem solving happening right there. And one of my favorite details was something that was painted on the wall. Now, I'm almost positive that that crane is from the bumper cars that used to be here. I think that is a holdover, but I really like that corridor. It'll be exciting to see what we get next. And since the wall is going to be here for a year, I'm surprised they didn't do something that would make this more of a photo moment. Because if this is going to be a true dead end, this would be a fantastic spot to do meet and greets for characters, for Thunderbolts or one of the new films. Just put them right there, and then you're not compromising anybody else in the land. Which my problem with this land is it's too narrow in some spots, and what they choose to do where it's narrow makes it feel impossible to get through. And by the way, there's the bathroom. I try not to film restrooms, but that's the second original building. But soon we'll have a washroom over here. I'm excited about that. Our Lord, what's up, bud? How you doing? Nice to see you, bud.
Legendary outlaw.
I've heard about you.
You're of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just wanted to tell you, you got great taste in music. That's all. I love your mixes, bud.
Do you have a favorite song?
I do. This Is the Day, which was in your last movie. I don't know if you're aware of your movies, but you were in a movie and that song was in there, and that was my song in 2020, so I loved it.
This is the day your life will surely change.
I already like your taste. My favorite song is usually the one that's playing currently, so what we got here?
Oh, he's put the headphones on.
Cherry Bomb, The Runaways.
Nice. Early Joan Jett. Early Joan Jett, my man.
World, I'm your royal girl. I'm your cherry bomb.
All right.
Picture yet?
I just did. Thanks for keeping us safe. I appreciate you.
See you later.
Thank you.
I took a couple of pictures.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, you have that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Star-Lord is cool. That was great. Now, when most vloggers would take you for a ride on this, I'm going to take you for a different kind of ride. I'm going to take you for a ride into the future, because my question is, how long will this little cart on the corner survive? It is one of the most dead food stands in the entire Disney resort. Out of all of the things I anticipate to change in this land, it would be this stand right here. It just hasn't found its money in the bank item. It is one of the best places to get a bottle of water when every place else is slammed in the summer. So it appears they're restocking the cart, and I never want to bother the CMs from doing their job. I appreciate all the cast members for making the magic. Love you guys. But this little shawarma cart is in trouble. It's also very, very dead. Sometimes they will use it as a popcorn bucket release spot just to get people excited about coming over here. I don't know if it's one of those weird no man lands in retail, but both of these little carts are struggling. So I'm fascinated to see what becomes of them. Do they replace them? Do they do something different? Do they find a knockout item that guests will finally be like, I have got to go there and get it? I don't know. It's been a couple years now, and the struggle has been consistent. So fascinating, like nerd theme park drama. My kind of theme park drama. Here's another little project that's going on, a transformation of the old soap opera cafe. It wasn't the real name of it, but it's wild to think that at one point that was a diner based on soap operas. So crazy. And then finally, Carthay Circle is back to be in its almost normal self. The big scrims around it are gone. Construction wall around it. So just a little bit of fine tuning for 70 right along here. Not too bad, because all of this is refreshed again. Beautiful, beautiful little area. I do always wish Buena Vista Street was just one block longer. Spring flowers are out. April is winding down. We are so close to the Disney 70th kicking off in the middle of May. And there is one major indication that it's even closer than we think. Let's check that out before we say goodbye. Just yesterday, I was at the real Buena Vista, the street up in Burbank, where I filmed a little video at a place called Mickey Mouse Park. Maybe you heard of it. If you didn't check out yesterday's video, you definitely want to go check it out. A little PMA, positive mental attitude, from some of the worst news that Walt ever got. But don't worry, he rebounded, and the story becomes an inspirational one. Check out yesterday's video where I went up to the real Buena Vista right behind Walt Disney Studios. There's one of these left on the DCA side and on the Disneyland side. getting the last turnstiles updated for the 70th, predicted increased audiences. So far, I mean, I guess it's better than the old system, but it's just, come on, man. Florida has security and the gates just nailed. When you go to Walt Disney World, you realize what a joke it is coming and going from Disneyland. And I say that as somebody who loves Disneyland, but man, oh man, does Walt Disney World have us beat big time. So hopefully this speeds up and gets more efficient, because I have seen what true convenience looks like, and so far this is not it. It's almost like the entire system needs a little lubrication. Every great storyteller leaves the biggest reveal for the end of the story, keeping you on the edge of your seats so you feel like you get a tremendous payoff and you keep people watching longer. Friends, there it is. The giant trampoline has shown up in the middle of the Esplanade. Jump for the 70th is the theme of it. Not really. This is going to be a bizarre, deconstructed castle. Think what we had last year for Pixar Fest, but even more abstract and bizarre. My question for everybody is this. Last year, no power out here. This year, can they get power in the center of the Esplanade? Because they're not going to rip all this up. So it'll be interesting to see if it's still a castle of doom, a fortress of doom at the end of the night. All right, friends, from the edge of the thing that has everybody the most excited, the deconstructed dark castle that's showing up. Thank you so much for going on today's adventure with me. Hope you're having fun over here. And if you are, don't forget to subscribe to Brickey Vlogs. What do you say? I'll see you tomorrow? Maybe? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you.